back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. Well, as we talked about yesterday, the Edmonton Oilers haven't gotten February off to the best start. After going perfect in January, they've lost 2 of their first 3 games to start the month, but they'll look to get back in the win column tomorrow night when they take on the Detroit Red Wings. Chris Knoblauch made a couple changes to the lineup today. Let's take a look. Sam Gagner will be drawing back in on the 4th line, playing with Derek Ryan and Connor Brown. Matthias Janmark will be a healthy scratch, and the defensive pairings have been reset, with Ekholm back with Bouchard, Nurse back with Ceci, and Kulak back with Vinny Desharnais, and it looks like Stuart Skinner will get the start and goal. We discussed in the video yesterday that those defensive pairings just did not look like they were working. I think Vinny Desharnais, although he has the ability to probably move up now and then, is best suited to the 3rd pairing. I don't think putting him with Darnell Nurse is the best idea unless the Oilers are forced to in injury or circumstance beyond their control. I think Vinny's just a solid 3rd pairing defenseman, and that's probably where he should stay. And Sam Gagner, you guys know I'm the big Gagner fan, and that 4th line just really hasn't been producing much of anything, so a change was definitely needed. So happy to see Sam back in the lineup tomorrow night, facing one of his former teams, the Detroit Red Wings. So hopefully Gagner can come in there and have a big night and get something going there for the Oilers in the bottom 6. And hopefully that second line of Corey Perry, Leon Draisaitl, and Evander Kane can continue to produce for the Oilers, although nobody produced last game against the Kings in a 4-0 loss. The Oilers will need more from Hyman and Nuge. They haven't been producing as much lately, so would be nice to see Connor, Hyman, Nuge get going again. And obviously, like I said, need more from the 4th line and more from Dylan Holloway, Ryan McLeod, and Warren Foegele. We'll see what happens here going forward. Daniel Nugent-Bowman sat down and had another interview with Oilers GM Ken Holland talking about the trade deadline. Ken Holland obviously didn't reveal too much. He did say that Philip Broberg is probably not going anywhere. He's a piece that Ken Holland really values, so don't expect Philip Broberg to be involved in any kind of trade. I think Philip Broberg has a chance to be joining the Oilers lineup following the trade deadline. I think Brett Kulak or Cody Ceci are going to be one of the Oilers' key trade pieces. I mentioned in my video yesterday that we could very easily see both guys go. There's cost savings for the Oilers there if they can bring in someone cheaper. Obviously, if you replace Brett Kulak with Philip Broberg, there's almost $2 million in savings just right there. You hate to lose Brett Kulak's experience and his strong play on defense, but if the Oilers do want to make improvements elsewhere, they do have to sacrifice somewhere. I also mentioned Warren Foegele, possibly Ryan McLeod as guys that could be moved out. I think Warren Foegele is the most likely guy to go in the top 6. Well, top 9, I guess, but he has been in the top 6 at points this year. I think Ryan McLeod is valued more in the organization. Warren Foegele's had an excellent year, but if the Oilers are going to add someone else to the top 9, then clearly someone has to go, and moving out Warren Foegele's $2.75 million would make the biggest impact. Ken Holland also mentioning to not expect any changes in goal, at least at this point. Olivier Rodrigue, Jack Campbell, both playing strong in Bakersfield right now. Stuart Skinner, Calvin Pickard playing strong with the Oilers. So they have 4 goaltenders playing well right now. As I've mentioned many times, February will be the month that dictates what the Oilers do come the trade deadline. Ken Holland has always been patient, and I think he will continue to be patient this month. There's always the chance that a trade does happen pretty much at any time right now, but we know Ken Holland likes to wait till as close to the trade deadline as possible, so I expect that will be the case again this year unless a trade presents itself that the pieces, everything makes sense. Ken Holland could possibly pull the trigger early, but I think he will take the patient approach once again. So we'll see what happens there with the goaltending, but if everything stays as it is right now, don't expect a new goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers come trade deadline. And one final note for today, Elliot Friedman noting on the 32 Thoughts podcast that the Pittsburgh Penguins are looking for a Claude Giroux type deal for Jake Guentzel if they are to move him. Claude Giroux garnered a 1st-round pick, a 3rd-round pick, and Owen Tippett, so the Oilers would clearly be paying a 1st-round pick, 3rd-round pick, and possibly Xavier Bourgault. I'd say Philip Broberg, but Ken Holland doesn't sound like he wants to move Broberg, so I don't know, pick a prospect for the Oilers there, but obviously someone along the lines of a Borgo, possibly a Raphael Lavoie, Carter Savoy, I don't know. Pick an Oilers prospect, add a first-round pick, third-round pick, possibly elevating that third-round pick to a second-round pick, something like that. Gets you Jake Guentzel, and that's a deal I do every day of the week. I think Jake Guentzel would be an amazing addition to the Oilers' top six, so we'll see what happens there, but for now, that's where things stand. Let me know your thoughts on the roster changes for the Oilers. Do you think the Oilers should acquire a goalie? What do you think their biggest need is at this point? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.